The movie is about this guy who has 3 days left on his probation? What could possibly go wrong? Blindspotting, released in 2018 and is directed by Carlos Lopez Estrada, who's also directed such films like Summertime and Raya and The Last Dragon. And this film is starring Daveed Diggs, Raphael Castle, Janina Gavankar, Jasmine Cephas-Jones, Ethan Embry, Tisha Campbell-Martin, Utkarsh Mbudikar, and Dwayne Knight. And the reason why we're talking about Blindspotting today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my longtime contributors and supporters of this channel. Name the Stars. Thank you very much for this recommendation. I don't know if you recall recommending this one, because it's been a while since I've gotten to your recommendations. End of last year, I was trying to wrap up and do a whole bunch of like specific things, but I'm getting back to all of the PayPal recommendations that I've received from my contributors and my followers and my subscribers out there. So if any of you out there also want to be like Name the Stars and help contribute to me and help support me, and if you have a movie recommendation that you want to send my way, you can click on the QR code that is in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out, just like what I did for Name the Stars. Colin Hoskins is a black convicted felon who is struggling to finish the last 3 days of his probation. Whether it's his short-tempered best friend Miles, who's constantly trying to pick fights with random people and rope Colin into those fights, his Uber driver carrying an entire arsenal in his back seat, or whether it's the unprovoked shooting of a black man by a police officer that he witnesses one night. And the film takes us on 3 days in the life of Colin, where he struggles with changing who he was before he was convicted and scared of the man that he could potentially become. Now, I had heard some terrific things about this film when it came out in 2018. Everyone was talking about how this film should have been nominated for Best Picture and how it is such a great mirror to society about how a black man is seen in the eyes of white police officers who are a little trigger happy. This was 2018 and this is still an issue today. This is 2024, so if you look back from when this film was released and that 6-year period to today, yeah, things have not really gotten better. So this film was of the time back in 2018, and it's still of the time now, and it is a well-done film. The writing here, the dialogue, I think is excellent. It seems natural, it flows well, but it has great messages behind it of basically these characters preaching with how they're thinking of what society thinks of them. And the relationship of our two main characters between Miles and Colin, I think, is one of the best relationships of characters that I've seen in films in the last decade. Miles is clearly a white man, but he is appropriating black culture like crazy. He's changing the way he speaks. He has certain accoutrements on him. He wears particular clothing. And he also feels like he is okay with using the N-word as a slang term. And that's just wrong. That's just so wrong. You never use that word. Ever. Just ever. It's a bad word. Terrible word. He's just an angry young man, and he's always angry about something, or someone that looks at him the wrong way. He just lets out all of his anger of all the oppression and hatred, and really just everything that people have said to this character, takes it out on them. And then there's Colin, who is really like the straightest man of this entire cast. He has his shit together. Even though he is a convicted felon, he is the most down-to-earth individual. He knows what's going on. He knows how things work. He knows how the system works, but he's super intelligent. He is an amazing rapper. He's struggling to find different rhymes and different raps all throughout this film. And then when we get to the climax of this movie, where he confronts really just this awful event that he witnesses in the first 5 minutes of the film, he lets out this amazing freestyle rap, and Daveed Diggs is one of the best rappers on the planet, I think, in my opinion, today. He's a speed rapper, so he can say so many different words in just a couple of seconds that not everyone can do. That whole ending scene, it just makes the movie. This film is just great to begin with, but having that climax and his performance of that rap and what he's standing for and what he's talking about, it's heart-wrenching, it's sad in a way, but it's also great. He's finally taking a stance of something worth taking a stance over. There's a lot of unnecessary anger in this film. These characters hold a lot of unnecessary anger. Like, why are you angry about this thing? It didn't really happen to you. Why are you angry all the time? So to see this character end up in a situation where he is angry at something that matters, it's inspiring. It's a movie about action and what our actions mean to those in our current generation, but also into the generation that's going to follow us. What we do now, yes, it's here to help us here in the moment, but it's also to make our kids' lives better and their kids' life better. And there are several moments in here when these two characters have that realization, realize that. There is a scene in a living room involving Miles's kid, and I'm not going to spoil what it is because you definitely need to watch this film. It caught me by surprise, and it left me on the edge of my seat. I didn't want the bad thing to happen, but it's moments like that that force these characters into realizing, like, oh, okay, so the things that I'm doing now, I may think that they're silly, or I may think that they don't have a lasting effect on me, but they do, and they have a lasting effect on my family and my future family that's coming after me. Blindspotting is a terrific film, a wonderful film that everyone should see. Great messages, great dialogue, and great characters. Not to mention that the music of this film is great too. This movie was just entertaining as all hell, and I definitely recommend it. I'm gonna give Blindspotting 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good. Good.
So guys, if you've seen Blindspotting, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button to make sure you hit that bell. See you all the next time I'm releasing next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.